Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again in this YouTube astrological segment. I'm going to be talking about Jupiter in Pisces in the natal chart. Now, some of you may remember when I first started my YouTube astrology channel, I did a series on the Jupiter placements in the natal chart. They were a little bit concise, and some people may refer to them as snappy. So what I decided to do was make another series in which the videos would be a little bit longer and more descriptive. So anyway, first thing up, Jupiter in Pisces. Well, Jupiter's connected with luck and fortune. It shows where how we can be lucky. And having Jupiter in Pisces, one may be lucky by being idealistic, compassionate, forgiving, altruistic, sacrificing for others. People can see these traits, these characteristics in them, and it may lead to bigger things for these people. Um, Rescuing, using one's imagination, and even isolation. This person may be able to do things when they're in solitude and seclusion that may pay dividends for them. And this could be placement where it's really developing intuition. A person may be lucky as far as that goes. And Jupiter in Pisces, well, Jupiter is in, of course, it's in its dignity in Pisces. Michael Jordan has this placement. I believe it's conjunct his midheaven. He didn't turn out too bad. Um, the thing is, it's also, Jupiter in astrology is also associated with, it's what I've stated before in videos, and I'll say it again, is that Jupiter can be paradoxical, strongly benign and benevolent, but it could also have a tendency to enlarge and expand. In some cases, this placement may enlarge or expand issues with the feet, toes, the pineal gland, the lymphatic or immune system. And also it may enlarge the characteristics, which negative characteristics as well of the sign, which can include being gullible, being overly passive, deceptive. You know, um, Thing is, it can be, where you have, this energy, and it could also be about being easily deceived. It can enlarge those, characteristics as well, being an escape, being overly elusive. Now, Jupiter is also associated with exuberance and enthusiasm. It could show we have that exuberance and enthusiasm for. So having Jupiter in Pisces in your natal chart, well, there may be a lot of exuberance and enthusiasm for helping the less fortunate, including the impoverished, the oppressed, the homeless, the hungry, rescuing others. Could be rescuing someone from a bad situation, or even like a literal rescue. If somebody's in a flood, and they're drowning. It can be doing things with boating, fishing, attaining one's dreams and fantasies, and playing even fantasy games. This is where things a person may have a lot of exuberance and enthusiasm for: poetry, dancing, photography, as some other examples, the metaphysical, which includes astrology, and also too maybe even a fog machine around Halloween time. Um, Also too, Jupiter is connected with philosophies and beliefs. So, having Jupiter and Pisces in your natal chart, your philosophies and your beliefs, a lot of this may be tied in, to idealism. It's, again, Michael Jordan, NBA legend Michael Jordan with displacement, certainly one, likely had a belief of attaining, what could be the unimaginable and make it reality. And the thing is, the belief system, philosophies, and beliefs connected with displacement, can be about being idealistic, about attaining dreams and fantasies. It might even be about being passive, that you don't always have to be, combative or confrontational. But sometimes it's just good to be more passive. And actually also overlooking transgressions of others, overlooking the negative in people, not necessarily being oblivious to it, but being able to emphasize and accentuate the positive in others. Now, Jupiter is also connected with sports. So, this person, people that have this placement, there may be an interest in sports connected with fishing, scuba diving, water polo, sailing, even surfing and swimming. As some examples, water sports in general. This is where some people that have this placement, they may be enamored with water sports. And also being, really, they might enjoy, too, as well, being idealistic in those matters, and whether it's sports competition, what have you, without being unrealistic. Jupiter is also associated with higher education, college studies, and the education you receive after high school. So having this placement, well, you might be, people have this placement, there may be an interest in, as far as college studies go, there might be an interest in oceanography, or courses taken in poetry, dancing, photography, anesthesiology, chemistry. You know, if there's any courses to be like a chemical engineer, what have you, there may be an interest in that. The metaphysical, which includes astrology, and just now another thing. Jupiter is associated with publishing. So people that have Jupiter and Pisces in their natal chart, there may be an interest, publishing poetry or something connected with fantasy, like writing fantasy fiction novels, publishing them, something with spirituality, or again the metaphysical, which includes astrology, something with chemistry, boating. It could be, journeys by sea, oceanography, and even matters connected with addiction, whether it could be drug or alcohol addiction, sexual addiction. And now another thing too is that Jupiter is also connected with prosperity and affluence. So there may be, prosperity and affluence in fields associated with chemistry, anesthesiology, dancing, poetry, the metaphysical, which includes astrology. It can be something with boating or working on boats or docks, fishing. It could be, field. It could be doing, some work in solitude or seclusion, as some examples. Another thing too is that Jupiter is associated with traveling abroad, long distance journeys, traveling to other countries. So Jupiter in Pisces, there may be, a lot of traveling abroad by sea, taking sea voyages, going to places that are secluded where one can have solitude, and things that are, fantastical. I don't know if that's the right word. They're related, they're connected with one's fantasy, that can fulfill a fantasy, perhaps. And also, long distance journeys may be taken to go to places to help the less fortunate. Again, people that may be oppressed, hungry, homeless, or impoverished. It could be going, taking a long distance journey as a means to escape. Um, it can be, also, there may be ambivalence and indecision and confusion in matters pertaining to long distance journeys as well. And also, too, Jupiter is connected with religion. So this person may be the type, person that may incorporate spirituality into their religion. There might also be some confusion or ambivalence or indecision regarding, what religion to actually, be involved with it, to believe. Jupiter is also associated with foreigners, so one or more of these people that the person, foreigners that the person may interact with may actually be a Pisces sun, moon, or ascendant, or simply embody the characteristics of the sign. It could be people that are very sacrificing, forgiving, compassionate, empathetic, altruistic, but also may be deceptive, duplicitous, overly gullible, and impressionable. Could also be people that may be in Pisces professions, whether it's working on chemistry, poetry, dancing, photography, anesthesiology, something that requires rescuing, like working as a lifeguard, as an example, doing something with illusion, such as working as a magician, as some examples. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.